Welcome to the Effortless English Show with the world's #1 English teacher, AJ Hoge, where AJ's more than 40 million students worldwide finally learn English once and for all, without the boring textbooks, classrooms, and grammar drills. Here's AJ with a quick piece to help you learn to speak fluent English effortlessly.
You can speak English like a native. 7 steps to success. That's our topic today. So to speak English like a native meaning, right, someone who learned English as a baby. American, Canadian, British, Australian, New Zealand, etc., right? South African. You can do it. But there are 7 steps. I'm going to give you 7 steps. And these are the 7 steps I teach my students, my members who get my courses, right? So I recommend real world goals, okay? These are milestones. These 7 steps are milestones. Milestones are like small goals that help you achieve a big goal, right? So you can imagine if you want to run a marathon, that's 26 miles. I can't remember what it is in kilometers, but anyway. Well, first you might say, okay, first I'm going to train. I'm going to train and exercise until I can run 5 miles. That's your first milestone, is run a 5-mile race. And then, or maybe just a 3-mile race, a 5K, right? That might be your first milestone. And then, right, your next milestone, successfully run a 10-mile race or a 9-mile race, right? And you get it. And then your next milestone would be successfully finish a half marathon, right? So these are smaller chunks, smaller pieces, smaller goals that get you closer and closer and closer to your big goal. Because focusing on the big goal sometimes is too much. You actually will lose motivation, right? Because it seems too big. You're like, oh, I'm never going to do it. Speak English like a native. Oh, that seems impossible. Right now, I have trouble just talking at all. I have my pronunciation's bad. I can't think of words when I need them. I don't understand people talking. So you think, oh, speak like a native, and you'll get discouraged, right? Maybe you try hard for a month or 2, but then you quit. Why? Because it feels too far away. And that's why you need these smaller goals, these milestones. So let's learn them. Number 1. So this is what I recommend for all of my students. All of my students. I recommend this. Okay? And get my courses, and you are going to learn these steps. You're going to be able to do these. You will do each of these steps. Step 1 is you create a power morning routine. A power morning routine. I teach this to my Power VIP members. It's the first lesson you get. The first lesson you get as a Power VIP member is it's called Get Psyched, and it teaches you exactly how to do this, okay? Because there's a formula for doing this. But the important point is you have to start your day strong. You must start your day in a powerful way. Like, well, what does this have to do with speaking English? It has everything to do. Because how are you going to master English? How are you going to improve? Well, by studying, practicing, listening, speaking, reading every day. And not just 5 minutes. You probably need to do it an hour a day, at least 2 hours a day is what I recommend now. And of course, more is great. Okay, but to do that, to listen to English, to practice English 2 hours a day or more, you need motivation, you need energy. But what happens? Some mornings you wake up and you just feel bad. You feel tired. Maybe you're depressed. Maybe you had a bad night before. So sometimes we don't know. Sometimes I just wake up in the morning and I just in a bad mood. And my motivation's low. Well, do you waste the day? What do? You need to do something. Right? You got to change that. You need a way, a method, and it has to be a habit, something you do every day. Right? You don't want to waste a whole day just because you woke up feeling bad. Right? That's no good. And I've done that in the past. I'm sure you have, right? You wake up and you have this idea, oh, I'm going to work hard and do all these great things. And then you wake up and you just feel like low energy and maybe just, negative, and then you don't do anything. You just kind of waste the day. That's terrible. Well, you need to change that. And so I teach you a method, and you can find your own methods, but it has to be a habit. This is the important part. A habit. You do it every day, like brushing your teeth. You wake up, and in the morning, you change that feeling. So if you're feeling tired and depressed, it doesn't matter, because you have this way, this power routine to start every day feeling strong, motivated, energetic. And then you will study 2 hours or 3 hours or more, and you will enjoy it. So that's number 1. Step 2, a power evening routine. I talked about this yesterday in the show. A power evening routine, a way to finish your day, your evening, right? To, again, program your mind before you go to sleep, to get rid of negative thoughts, change negative emotions, change your negative actions, and program positive thoughts, positive emotions, and positive actions. So when you wake up the next day, you won't be in a bad mood. You'll be feeling great. Okay? So step 1, power morning routine. Step 2, power evening routine. These are so important. Just making these routines, this creates the foundation, right? It's the center of your success. And of course, this will help you in every part of your life, not only English. All right, number 3, now we get to the parts specifically about English. Step 3 is you must develop a daily habit of listening to English, listening to my courses. If you get my Power VIP course, you listen to those lessons 2 hours or more every day. You can do it yourself too. You can use my podcast. It's free, okay? But I recommend 2 hours of listening every day. It's great if you can listen to mini story lessons and point of view lessons. Those are the most powerful in my opinion. But listening to any real English is helpful and good. 2 hours a day. If you have more time, you can also do things like read books, write, talk to people if you have a chance to chat with people. Also, when you're doing your listening every day, you can use techniques like shadowing. With the mini stories, I ask questions. You can shout your answers. So you're also doing some speaking practice as well. Okay, so 2 hours a day. And again, it becomes a habit. It just becomes a habit every single day. You notice these first 3 are just about habits. It's not about what you can do. It's not about getting a test score. It's not about achieving anything. You have total control over these 3. That's why they're so powerful. You're just doing habits. It's just what you do every day. This is powerful because this will get you those goals. This will get you the higher test scores eventually, and the other things we're going to talk about. Step 4. Do practice job interviews and practice speeches, presentations, in English. Practice. Okay? Not real. Practice. You're going to notice something. In Effortless English, we focus on real world goals. Okay? Really using English in the world. Okay? Not test score numbers. I don't care about test score numbers. I don't care about your IELTS score. I don't care about your TOEFL score. It's just a number. It means nothing. It means nothing. If you might need it to get into a university or for a job, I understand. If you need it, do it. But it's nothing to. It's not about the real world. The real world, using English in the real world. What do you want to do with English in the real world? Get better jobs? Well, you probably need to do job interviews in English. Give speeches, give presentations. Maybe you're a doctor. You go to medical conferences around the world. You want to talk, you want to give speeches about what you're doing. Or you just want to understand other people's speeches. You need English. Okay, that's real world. Not some test. That's real, right? Getting better jobs. Real. Maybe you're an English teacher and you have to teach your students. Well, you want your own English to be good, right? That's real world. So real world goals. So step 4 is you practice doing job interviews and speeches. How do you do that? I think the easiest way is video. You just use your phone. You just turn on the video and you can read job interview questions if you want. You can find them online. They're everywhere. You can find a lot of books about this topic. So you just, what is your greatest strength? And then you imagine you're answering the question and you talk to the camera and you give your answer in English. And then you can also do this with speeches. Just say, okay, I'm going to do a 3-minute speech. Just choose any topic and you talk to the camera. And then what do? Then go back and watch it. And you're going to say, oh, that was terrible. You'll notice all your mistakes. Don't worry about it, okay? You just want to practice, practice, practice. Why? Because this is real world stuff. This will actually help your life. This will help you make more money, get better jobs more that you enjoy, right? Another real world thing will be, we're going to talk about next, which is step 5. Step 5, you make your dream list. Your dream list for English. What's your dream list? Your dream list, these are the big dreams you want by using English. Most of you don't just love English for just the words and the vocab and the grammar. There are people who do, okay? There are some people who just love languages and they just like to learn 1,000 languages and they love studying them, and that's fine, that's good. But most people, including me, with languages and with English, you have a reason. You have reasons. You want to use English for something. English is just a tool to get your real goals. What are your goals? Better jobs is probably the most common one. Okay, so I want you to make a list and don't just put better jobs. That's not specific enough. I want you to list the exact jobs you want, like the company and the job title or department that you want. I want to get a job at Apple as a marketer, for example, right? Or Huawei. I'm going to get a job, an international job at Huawei, using English in their, advertising, their English advertising department. Whatever. Okay, it doesn't matter. Or, if you're an engineer, I want to get an engineering job at an international, with an international engineering project. And I want you to write it out exactly, the company that you want to work for and the job you want. Right? This will connect English to something in your real life that's going to make your life much better. Right? Because it's not just, endless words and grammar. And you can also do this with speaking. Maybe you want to give speeches and presentations. This can help your life, your job, your career, socially. So you might say, I want to present at the next medical conference in Tokyo next year, or in Abu Dhabi, or wherever, okay? So you're going to write that down exactly. I want to present at this conference, and I want to give a speech about, some topic. Okay, so you understand? And then the next part, so number 1 of your dream list, this is, let's say A is jobs, B, speeches. Number 3, travel. Travel. This is something we all use English for, and that a lot of people dream about is world travel. So write down your dream list. If you had enough money and you had perfect English, where would you like to travel in the world just for fun? Maybe you want to do a tour of Europe and you're going to you're going to get a rail pass and you're going to visit 10 European countries. Probably can't learn 10 different languages, but with English, you can travel in Europe pretty well. Most countries, right? This is the great thing about English. Sometimes some countries, the English level is not super high, but there is always somebody who speaks a little English in my experience. I have traveled the world, all over Latin America, Asia, Europe, and using mostly English, and I've had no problems getting hotels and going to restaurants and shopping and all these things. So write down your dream trips using English. And then finally, you might have a dream list. In your dream list, you might include social things. Maybe you want to have friends. I'd like to have 10 English-speaking friends from 10 different countries. You just want to learn about different countries. That's fine, too. Maybe you're single. You want a boyfriend or a girlfriend who speaks English. I don't know. Write it down, okay? That's your dream list. All that together is step 5, your dream list for English. Step 6. do your first real job interview in English. You get your first, this is your next milestone, your next goal. After you make your dream list, your next goal is, okay, I'm going to get a job interview in English and I'm going to complete it. You don't need to even get the job, okay? Don't worry about getting the job offer, okay? You might just do it, okay? Because that it's an important step, because a lot of people are afraid and nervous of doing this. So just overcoming the nervousness, just going and doing a job interview in English. Even if you fail, you don't get the job, that's still a success, okay? Because you did it. So do your first job interview, do your first speech in English. Toastmasters is a great way. There's a group called Toastmasters International, and they are international everywhere in the world. Toastmasters. Very cheap group to join. They're in most cities around the world, and they're for public speaking, giving speeches. And many times, in most places, they have an English group. So they might have a group in your own language, but they also might have a group in English. So join them and do your first speech in English. This is an important milestone. So you're proving to yourself that you can speak English, and not just speak it for a test, but really use it in the real world. Use English to achieve those goals that you have in life. This gets exciting because now you realize, oh, it's not just a test score. It's not just, oh, now I know 100 more words. Who cares? No, now I can possibly get better jobs using English. I can possibly travel and really have fun, great experiences using English. I can give speeches and help my career long term and make these great connections using English. Right? I can make friends around the world using English. I mean, amazing opportunities open for you. So that's milestone number 6. As part of milestone 6, you could also maybe take your first trip. Take your first trip abroad to a place where you can use English. It might be nearby, it might be far away. But this is actually taking action and doing it. And then finally, step 7, the ultimate, where you're really trying to get to, is do a job interview in English and get the job. Okay, so this is the last step. Don't get stressed about this step until the end. Okay, you got to do all these other things first. Right? If you focus on this last step, you can get really stressed out. So that's why we go little by little to this last step. So then when you finally do it, you're not so scared. You're not so nervous, and you're ready. You're confident. You feel strong and powerful. Okay? So the final step is you get that job offer. You get that one of those jobs on your dream list. You get the job. You do a job interview at one of those companies, and they offer you a job. You've now used English to improve your life, make more money, get a job you love more, maybe travel, all these great things. Now you're using it in the real world, in your real life. It's really improving your life. Part of step 7, I have 3 parts. See, this is a lot of stuff to do, is to get an invitation to speak at a conference. So to actually go and give a speech at a conference, right? To actually do it. Not just practice it in Toastmasters, but go to a real conference or a real seminar. It might be locally, it might be international, it doesn't matter, but you do it in English. That's the important part. So international is better, because then you go and you give a speech about whatever in your career, and you're going to make connections. You know, if you're a teacher, there are a lot of education conferences around the world, and, you know, maybe just in your area. Like if, for example, if you're in Kuala Lumpur, they might have one nearby in KL or maybe in Bangkok. And you go there and teachers from Southeast Asia come. And you give your speech in English, and you can connect with all these other schools and teachers and professors. And who knows, a lot of opportunities happen because of public speaking. So there you go. Those are the 7 steps that will lead you from where you are now, maybe frustrated, maybe not getting much success with English. Maybe you're too focused on tests and those things. And instead, what you want to do is you want to get to the real world success with English. Right? Because that's what native speakers do. I don't study grammar all day and think about vocabulary words, right? What? I use English to do things in my life, right? I use it for my job. I use it for my business. I use it to connect with people, friends, family, right? I have done a lot of public speaking, all these things. So you want to focus on how you're using it in the real world and how it's going to help you in the real world. But you got to take this, you got to take these little steps, step by step. We all want to dream big, and that's good. Like, oh, I'm going to have my dream job and make $1 million a year. Okay, great. But if you're only like an intermediate level of English now, and you're making, $10,000 a year now, well, that's a big jump. So I recommend you break it into little pieces. Don't try to make one big jump up to $1 million a year and perfect English speaking. Let's do big a jump for one jump. Instead, you need little jumps. Jump, 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 right? And each little jump seems possible. You're like, okay, I can do a morning routine. That's easy to do. That's not hard to do. You have total control over that. You can wake up and play some good music and, follow my formula. That's easy to do. You can do the evening routine. That's easy to do too. Very relaxing. It's very pleasant. It's enjoyable. Okay? And then after you do those two things, listening to English or listening to the courses or the lessons, audiobooks, whatever, will also be easy. You're like, 2 hours, that's nothing. I just put my phone, headphones. You can do it while you're walking around. You can do it while you exercise, while you go to work, come home, while you're cooking. You can do it all through the day. You'll actually find out that 2 hours is not that bad. So those first three, see, they're all nice and easy. They're easy steps that prepare you for the higher steps, which can become a little scarier, right? Doing a job interview at English at a big company, maybe it makes most people feel nervous, okay? Even me, I'd probably be nervous, even it's in my own language, right? So we got to build up, little by little, those steps. That's why we have milestones. All right. Now, get my book for free. My whole book is free now. And what is the subtitle of the book? Speak English like a native, okay? Effortless English, speak English like a native, okay? How to speak English like a native. So you can get my whole book is free at effortlessenglishclub.com. That's my website. You just have to enter your email. So enter your email anywhere on my website. Enter your email and you will get a link to download to get my book, and the whole book is free. It's a PDF, so you can read the whole book. My entire system is in there. Okay. If you're watching on video, you can see effortlessenglishclub.com. You could go to that 7 rules page and enter your email there. But you can just enter your email anywhere on my site, and you get the whole book for free. It's 200-something pages. So, and the English is not so difficult. I think you can read it. You can read it easily. So no problem. All right, let's get to some comments and questions. I'm only going to do 7 more minutes. I'm going to do shorter shows so that I can do them more often. Okay? So let's just go through these questions and comments live here on YouTube quickly. Oh, cool. Momin Ali, speaking of doctors, I'm a 3rd-year medical student. I really want to work in the USA. I just want to thank you so much because you helped me speak English just by using your podcasts and courses. Awesome, Momin. That's fantastic. It's surprising. I was surprised, but so many doctors are members of Effortless English. I did a survey and a questionnaire for our VIP members and Power English members especially, and huge number of doctors. So it's interesting. I should do a medical English course, but truthfully, I don't think you guys need medical English so much. You in medical school, I know you were already learning the medical vocab. You have to do it, right? The Latin words and all these things. I can't teach you that anyway. But what you really need is those just the general ability, that general English, because so many medical staff, if you might work in a hospital or a clinic where you have people coming, from different places, it might be kind of international, working with doctors from other countries, and English is the language you need to use to communicate right? And certainly if you're going to be reading research papers, English. And if you're going to be giving presentations, going to international conferences, whether it might be from pharmaceutical companies, it might be just, medical conferences. Again, you got to get up and speak in English. So I understand why doctors like Effortless English so much. All right, here we go. Self-improvement says, I'm a pharmacist. Yeah, we have a lot of medical. So doctors, pharmacists, nurses, and therapists. We have a lot of them. Another group, we have a lot of our engineers, and we have a lot of teachers. Oh, and managers, too. These are the 4 big groups for Effortless English, interestingly enough. Okay, Joseph says, I'm a beginner in English. I know some basics. My question is, which course is best for me? Just from your writing, I can tell you're a little better than a beginner. So I would say Power English. My Power English course, that's on my homepage, okay? So that's the best one to start with for most people. EffortlessEnglishClub.com is where you want to go. It's right on the screen if you're watching on video. Nam says, you haven't streamed for a long time. Now you did 2 days in a row. What's up? I went on vacation for the summer. We went to Guam for a long vacation for several weeks, a few weeks with the kids. And I just decided to relax and, enjoy the water with the kids. And then I came back. I was planning to start doing shows, and then I got sick. You can probably still even hear us still. I had this cough and sinus, like nose sinus infection, and kind of long for a few weeks. I've had this, finally starting to feel better. So that's why I've been gone for a little while. We've also been doing some work on the business on our website. You'll notice we have a new website design now. If you go to the website, it's new. So I've been doing some business stuff and making sure we're doing a lot of stuff with our software. So anyway, I'm back. We'll be doing more shows. Yeah, Manuel Rucha, good to see you as always. Says, my dream is to speak English naturally without hesitation. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Islam says, Islam Yahya says, I am learning English, but I can't practice the language because I'm from an Arab country. My mother tongue is Arabic, of course. English, what should I do? So try the shadowing technique. This will help you with pronunciation, with just the speed of your speaking. So that's the first step I always recommend when people are ready to focus on speaking. Listen a lot too, because that's also going to help you. And then finally, you might try something like italki or join the VIP program, my VIP program, and you can talk to other members on Skype or something. So you can do this online. You don't need to do it face-to-face. Mohammed Ahmed says, I feel more comfortable with the American accent than the British one. That's fine. It's totally fine to like one accent more than the other, or to find one easier. Yeah, it's totally fine. Of course, my accent is American. Okay. What should I do if I get depressed learning English? Says Esnake. Do the morning routine and the evening routine. This is why I recommend you have to make it a habit. Do it every day. Because after a few months of doing that, you won't be so depressed. In fact, you'll start feeling really enthusiastic and excited and confident about your English learning. We have to start with the emotion. Nobody else does this, but it's the most important thing. You don't start by focusing on the words and the grammar and pronunciation. That stuff is less important than the emotion. Because if you're depressed, if you're tired, if you have low energy, if you don't have good motivation, you're not going to study. You're not going to focus. You're not going to concentrate. And therefore, you will not succeed. Okay? The emotion is the beginning of everything, the root of everything. When you feel enthusiastic, excited, confident, alive, energetic, then you want to listen to English more and more and more and more. You enjoy it. You feel good about it. And then what happens? Well, when you do that, of course, you're going to improve faster and faster and faster, and you achieve the success. It all starts with that emotion, that everyday emotion. That's why the morning and evening routines are so, so important. They're the root, the heart of my system. All the other stuff, even the mini story lessons, all those other things are also great and important, but the emotion is first. That's why my book, when you get my book, you get it for free now. When you get my book, you will notice that the book starts with emotion. It starts with psychology and emotion. I don't start by teaching you about English learning systems and different kinds of lessons, and I don't start with that at all. I don't even mention that in the beginning. It's all about emotion and motivation and energy. Change your energy, change your life. That's a Joe Dispenza quote, and it's perfect. Couple more, and then I'm going to go. Like I said, I'm going to keep these. Okay, we got. Okay, a couple from Fernando Diaz. Good to see you as always. Hello, it's great to watch your videos again. I'm happy because my 10-year-old son has been selected to address a speech in English. It's because we practice English every day at home. See, so many Effortless English members use it with their children, and then their children get these great results, which I love. I think that's so fantastic. You're doing it with your kids. And then Fernando continues. After practicing every day, he happens to be the best in his class. The secret is he only just talks and talks every day for fun. Yeah, that's awesome. Very good, very good. Red Pill Maghribi says, I've been following you since 2016. Awesome. You helped me a lot with my English. All I can say is that you are a gold mine. Thank you. That's very nice. Thank you. Okay, let's see if I can, a couple more. I'm just going to go really fast. I'm trying to go quickly because I'm almost done for today. Lots of people saying hi from Brazil. Hello. 5BZZA says, AJ, you have been a big part of my English learning journey. Thanks a lot. You are welcome. Thank you. Rivalens says, I'm a beginner. I saw one of your videos. You said the best way to learn English is listening, right? But is practicing not helpful? Oh, I see. Practicing speaking. Yes, of course, practicing speaking is also helpful. I just recommend you focus on listening first. And then when you're ready, you decide when you're ready. Maybe you're ready in the beginning. You start speaking also. I recommend, again, use the shadowing technique. Just do a search on YouTube, shadowing. Look on my YouTube channel. I talk about how to do it. Shadowing. Dr. Argelis is the guy who came up with it. You can watch his videos too on shadowing, and it's a great way to combine. You're doing listening and speaking at the same time. That's why I love it. It's great. You're doing both skills at the same time. Okay, finally, what's this? Waiting. So it says, you're the best English teacher on YouTube. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be able to learn English. Thank you so much, AJ. You're welcome. Thank you so much. All right, guys. Like I said, I'm going to keep them shorter so I can do more. I think most people want me to do more shows. So I'll do them shorter, and then I can do them more often. All right. Lots of love to you. Finally, get my free book. My whole book now is free. 200-something pages free. And soon I'll make the audio book also free. Okay, so just go to my website, effortlessenglishclub.com. Also, you're going to get discounts on my courses when you join my email list. The courses, I have to increase the prices for all of the courses. I have the same prices now that from 2006. I have not raised prices in all that time. But my expenses have gone up, up, up. Of course, everything else is more expensive. So I have to raise prices finally. But when you join my email list, my email course, you will get discounts on my courses. So That's the good news. So it's another good reason to join. But the main reason, I think, is get my free ebook. Get my free book, effortlessenglishclub.com. I'll be back again soon. Maybe not tomorrow. I have jiu-jitsu, so maybe Sunday. Okay, lots of love to you. Bye for now.